We'll call the meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moment of silence. Please be seated. All board members are present for our meeting. Keith, would you read the mission and vision statement for me,
Yes, I will.
please?
The mission of East Washington School Corporation is students are empowered and encouraged to reach their personal best. And the vision of East Washington School Corporation is achieve excellence.
Thank you. We're going to start with our school corporation aims and reports. We'll start with the elementary school. Mrs. Richardson?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm going to highlight 4 things this evening, just kind of about our semester and how it's gone. I want to start with what I'm not sure if I personally have shared with you all or not, but at the end of last school year, the elementary was recognized by the Indiana Department of Education as being a family-friendly school. And really just a handful of elementary schools with that designation in the state. And I bring that up because we've had just a really good, successful first semester with lots of family events, our bingo, trunk or treat, donuts with dues, most recent our Christmas, our open houses, and we really always have such a good turnout, such great participation, so many wonderful families, and I bring those events up because I really feel like it brings our school family closer, and so I really enjoy those things. And I want to give a shout out especially to our PTO this year. We have a full board, which is wonderful. Amanda, Charlie, Eric, Kimberly, and Leanna. And that group of parents worked extremely hard for our students and our teachers, and they had their first annual fundraiser event, Grinch Village, which was very well organized, very successful. They did a great job on that. Secondly, I want to highlight our Leader in Me initiative, which is a corporation-wide initiative. All staff in the elementary, instructional staff, teachers, custodians, secretaries, all participated in that PD Day in September, the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And that is really the foundation for what Leader in Me in the schools is built upon. And so even though we've only been doing Leader in Me really for a few months, if you walked into the elementary, just a few things I feel like you would see and notice right off. You'd hear our teachers and you'd hear our students talking about being a leader and what that looks like. You'd hear that language. You would see all of our teachers implementing the Leader in Me curriculum, which really is teaching those leadership strategies. It's really built on the premise that every child is a leader, and what does that look like and what does that mean, not just at school, but really in your community and all the way through. You would meet our newest and our first student lighthouse team. And those kids are made up of 3rd and 4th graders. They had to complete an application, like a job application. From the applications, we selected several, and they had to interview like a job in front of a panel of teachers. There were 12 students selected, and we're really trying this year just to give them lots of different opportunities to lead, to present, really just to kind of showcase and step up within our building. You'd also see, right now you'd see kids also applying for school-wide leadership jobs and roles, and those things are anything from picking up the rocks on the sidewalk to make sure that people don't trip on them, put them back in the beds, to putting jackets in lost and found so they don't get left on the playground, cleaning up trash, wiping tables, reading with younger kids, really a whole array of different school-wide leadership opportunities. So they will apply, and then we will assign them a job. They'll have job training, and then they'll have that job throughout the semester. And then one more thing you would definitely see would be our teacher lighthouse team. And they have put in a lot of hours working with our Leader in Me coach. She's wonderful. She works with all of our buildings, but she's great. She has met with our team, really helps us support our teachers and support our students as this program unfolds, or this initiative unfolds in our building. And really, speaking of teachers, kind of brings me to my third point, really just a shout out to our teachers and staff. Our elementary, like I think every school in the state of Indiana, really the country right now, has challenges, there's no doubt, but I feel very proud of our teachers. They work so hard, and they work together. The reason I bring that up is really to showcase they get together weekly with collaboration. Some of those meetings are led by our literacy coaches. Others, they lead on their own, they turn in notes, they look at curriculum, they look at data, they look at intervention strategies, they look at behavior plans, really trying to look at each of our children individually and what does that child need. We've also had some schedule changes in our K-1-2. They have embraced it. We had some reflection at our last staff meeting. Lots of positive comments from several of the teachers I was worried about this at the beginning, and wow, I'm really liking it. I'm really seeing some benefits. So lots of hard work. I commend them for that. And then our data too really shows that we finished our first I Learn checkpoint, number 1, and our in English language arts and in math in 3rd and 4th grade, we were above the state average in proficiency for all. So I was pleased with that. We definitely have room to grow. I mean, I want to be up at the top, but we were above the state average, which says a lot for our students and our teachers and their hard work. And then our K-2 teachers are using something called DIBBLES, and it stands for, I have to look at, Dynamic Indicators of Basic Early Literacy. And it's a new assessment that we're using, and our K-2 teachers have really dove in head first with it. They really like it. It really pinpoints our students with reading, not just, oh, they're not a good reader. Well, why? What are we missing? And it gives us great data. We've all been very pleased with that. They've also had to learn that. They're using that data, and definitely commend their hard work on that. And then my last thing to bring up, just something new this year to highlight, is with student attendance. Obviously, it's not necessarily new. We want good attendance. I checked Alma before I came up here this evening, and we were sitting at 95% for our attendance, which I'm pleased with. And the new thing that we've done this year, kind of like a coaches say to win the quarter, win the quarter to win the game. We're trying to win the month. And so we are recognizing our students monthly who have perfect attendance for each month. They get a certificate. We're taking their picture. And it's with elementary kids. They are motivated by that. They really want to be in that picture. They want that certificate. And even our parents too. I get phone calls, or we get questions of, now if I take my child out early, will they miss, they've been here every day this month. So hey, if we can win these months, I think we'll see that percentage go up. So excited about that. So those are my 4 things. Do y'all have any questions or anything at all?
Is the Leader in Me coach for the corporation, is it?
Mhm.
She's the same, yes.
Yeah,
Sarah.
Is it somebody here?
No, it's through Leader in Me.
That's part of the
Okay.
program.
Okay.
And she's great. I mean, she's really,
She's worked
Yeah.
with the high school for the last 3 years, and they carried through with all 3
Our
programs.
staff really likes her. She's easy to work with. She's really down to earth. Like, what does this look like for your school?
And I think, a new initiative, and we wanted it to be district-wide. She understands the program where if we were just trying to dive in there and figure it out, she's eliminating a lot of the obstacles that you might experience by having a coach. And she did a training with the district level and the admin. It was a good day, and we'll have another one of those. So it kind of keeps us all in the same direction too.
Thank you.
Amber had a death in the family, and so she was going to record, and I said that was not necessary. So she her husband lost his grandmother last week, so their visitation was tonight. And so she sends her regrets, but she could not be here.
All right, so we will move to Mr. Ferris with the Eastern High School report.
Thank you. I've got 2 things I want to share tonight, and one of them is on Leader in Me, so we were kind of thinking the same tonight. The first one is, last Thursday, this kind of came about at one of I think it was on our first PD day. We had some breakout sessions, and we were talking about how to utilize homeroom better, and from that it grew into something of, let's reward our kids with a fun afternoon. So a couple of teachers thought of it, and it kind of ran from there. And so last Thursday, we did a reward day. That's what I called it. If I had to do it over again, it would be an opportunity day, and I'll tell you why here in just a moment. But what we did is we looked at all of our students and looked to see who was passing all of their classes currently. And kind of use that as a motivation and let kids know, hey, you have by this certain date to turn in any missing work to be eligible for the reward day. What we did is we created some games and activities. We did a modified schedule. The middle school's on the same schedule as us, where they went through all 7 periods, went to lunch, and then at about 1:30, the kids that were eligible met in the gym, and there were a bunch of them, which was a good thing. They signed up for different games and activities. We had hot chocolate, we had different snacks for them, just to kind of have an afternoon where they didn't have to worry about math or English or science or social studies for a little bit. But what we did with the students that weren't passing is we gave them an opportunity to work on their failing grades, which I thought was important. I felt like it went fairly well. The kids seemed to enjoy it. And the cool thing about it was our Leader and Me kids kind of planned the games and activities, so they had a lot of input in how we structured the day and what we did, and kind of a fun day. I'm glad we did it on Thursday, not Friday, because we weren't here on Friday, so it worked out pretty well. So the kids seemed to enjoy it, and everybody got along. We had different games, and I know kids can be competitive when they're playing against their buddy in 5-on-5 basketball, but they behaved and nobody got hurt, so that was a good thing too. So we may do another one of these days coming up, maybe towards the end of the 3rd grading period. Just feel like the high school, we're all business every day and we're trying to get credits, and sometimes you just gotta hit the brakes and reward kids for their hard work, because our kids do work hard and they do a lot of stuff, and every now and then you just need to have a little fun. So that's what we decided to do. It wasn't necessarily all my idea. There were some teachers that came up with the idea. When teachers contribute, that makes it even better. So it was a good day, and we'll change some things the next time we do it, but I think the kids really had a good time, and maybe next time we'll have more kids that will be eligible to participate. So the other thing was about Leader and Me. We do ours a little bit different than maybe what the elementary does or even the middle school. Of course, we've been doing it for about 3 years at the high school. I wanted to make it bigger and better this year. Usually I have a cutoff with the number of kids that are part of our Lighthouse team. And this year, if kids applied for it, I let them be a part of it. So we've got about 30 kids on our Lighthouse team. And part of the reason is we have kids that are in Prosser and doing different things, so not everybody can show up to all the meetings that we have during homeroom. So it's not very productive when you only have 6 kids show up and you have 20-some kids that are signed up for it. So it's worked out really well this year. Myself and Jennifer Hoke, she's been helping me a lot. We meet with our Lighthouse kids every Wednesday during homeroom, and we do different things and come up with different ideas and plan different things. So that's worked out really well for us. Some of the things we've done this semester with our kids, with the freshmen being new to this, the other students have been exposed to the 7 habits of highly effective people, but the freshmen have not. So we divided our kids up, and they went into the homeroom, the freshman homerooms, and taught them the 7 habits. So that took a little bit of time to do that. But this year we've broke up our Leader and Me kids into 4 groups, and these groups might stay the same all year. We might change the titles of them. But right now we have a group of kids that are working on introducing portfolios to our freshmen. We're going to start with the freshmen and going to work their way up until they're seniors, so then everybody in the whole high school will have a portfolio, just to add positive, good things to their portfolio, maybe use it as a, for a job someday. We feel like doing this now will help them down the road. So we'll start with our freshmen when we come back from Christmas break. Our Leader in Me kids will be teaching the kids how to do it and what to put in there, and they will meet with each homeroom, I think once a month, maybe twice a month, to make sure we're doing it the right way. So that's one group that we have. We have another group of students that are part of the school culture team, thinking of ways to make our school culture better. I like to make sure that kids feel like they're welcome here and they're involved, and if something needs to be improved, then we'll work on that. And kids usually have a better pulse on this kind of thing than we do as adults. So if a kid says something, hey, we need to work on this, then I'm going to listen. So we have a group of kids that are a part of that committee, I guess you could say, in our Lighthouse team. Another group, I call them the Data and Goals team. They're working on a goal right now. It's called a WIG, a widely important goal for the school. And they wanted to take the number of failing grades in the first 9 weeks and reduce those for the second 9 weeks. So we're working through the homeroom teachers with that. They want to reduce it by 20% from last grading period to this grading period. So we'll know here in a few days if we accomplish that. I'm sure if we do, we'll find another wildly important goal to work on for the third grading period and see how it goes. And then I have a fourth group that's called the Incentives and Celebrations team. They help come up with different incentives. Like I said, the reward day, they help plan that. They help me organize it and set up things. And I'm sure once we get back from Christmas break, we'll have some more incentive and goals and things that we want to do with this group as well. So we tried to break them up into different groups, so they're all involved in some way, but in different ways. I really feel like Leader in Me this year is going really, really well. It's helped that Jennifer Hoke is helping me out, because there's sometimes I can't get to a meeting, so I tell her, hey, go to the meeting, this is what we need to work on today. So it's been a big help having her involved as well. So, any questions?
The WIG, what are they doing to increase that?
Well, what we're doing
Or
is
decrease the amount of it?
yeah, we'll look at grades at the end of the second 9 weeks,
Uh-huh.
and we'll compare those to the end of the first 9 weeks. But what we have right now, we have the homeroom teachers kind of tracking their homeroom kids. We've done it. I think this will be the third week we started doing this, just to make kids aware. Hey, you're not doing so well in biology, so let's make sure you're doing what you need to do to get this to a passing grade here in the next 4 or 5 days.
Are the teachers initiating that conversation? Or
Yes,
students? Yeah.
homeroom
Okay,
teachers are keeping
okay.
track of that.
Okay.
Yep. So a little bit of a combination with kids and teachers working together on this. So, any other questions? Okay. Thank you.
All right, we will move into the superintendent report. Mrs. Jones?
Well, first, Kyle, I want to thank him because he's worked with me on 2 things this month. First of all, last month you all approved our security and technology upgrades, and met with Darlene from Bartech and Bytespeed, and that is now all in the works. They have the purchase order as of today, and Kyle is working with their team. He is the point person, so they don't have to wait on me to answer a question that I'm going to have to ask Kyle anyways. And he's working with them. So I was really impressed when we met with them, because I was expecting, turnaround time 6 months, and they said possibly within 2 weeks they'll have things on hand, that the orders, a lot of things will come in, and they will have it there at their warehouse. They'll program, and then they'll come on site, and they can even do this while we're in session without disturbing our day-to-day minimal disruptions. So we're excited about that it does a lot of things, and it's going to solve some of our challenges that an older system his limited capabilities. So, and then the other thing he did is we've worked, and it's on your board tonight for approval. We have worked extensively on the student information system and what the needs with what we had. We actually kind of waited because we had heard rumors that the state might go with a common system, and then that kind of, we didn't hear any more, so we decided with the challenges of our current system and just the issues, there are parts of it I love, but just some of the back end work with the technology and security issues, that we are going to move to a new system, and Kyle really helped navigate that process, and appreciate their Vartech's expertise on that. So that's those two things I'm really happy to have moving forward. So, and then of course the big issue, and Greg has worked with me a lot of 3:45 mornings with snow. We're not even to winter. December 21st is the first day of winter, and we've had more snow than I care to see. But we've really done well. Our bus drivers do a good job. We've called a couple delays just so we have some daylight, and it doesn't always fix all the road issues, but it does give us daylight, and Greg knows the roads to check, and we work as a county too, and I talk with the other superintendents, but I know him and I we'll be happy when we see spring and spring temperatures, but that's going on. Then last week, Regional Opportunity Initiatives, which really kind of started us down the road with Leader and me and a lot of our strategic plan, the grant that we got, they were on site and they toured all 3 of our buildings, looking at what we have with our STEM lab in the elementary and the middle school, and what we would like to include at the high school. Gave me some suggestions on some schools to go and visit that they're helping us navigate that. Darren has kind of coordinated a team to start talking about still have a library, but what a library can look like and should look like in today's world, and so that kids are utilizing it for all of the resources. So working on that, and going to use some of our grant funds that we have left for that. Leader and me was, I'm excited with that program. I think we really explored 3 or 4 programs, and some of the staff they really didn't like. I think they went out west to look at one, and they came back and said, we hate that. But when we had a really good buy-in from our whole staff, and I think we're seeing the rewards. 1, because we have a good coach, it is a good program, but 2, because our staff really took part in making that, and that's partly because of the PD days that we have. I feel like those 4 days, it's hard. I know it's hard on families because especially young ones, that childcare and different things can become a challenge, but those are so valuable, and the principals work really hard to make that day a full day where we accomplish as much as possible. And then we had our second one for the year in December, on a snowy day, but everybody got here, and it was another very beneficial day. We looked at AI. We did start a little later because of the weather and cut out the corporation meeting, but they did get to do that, and Michael headed that up for us, and it was a good day, and staff had some time to talk and work through, and had some breakout sessions. So the principals really do a lot to make that day happen, and I appreciate that. And I think that is it. Any questions?
All right, at this time, we'll move to our public comment section. So members of the public may address the board. Do you have any public comments? I didn't receive anything. Okay. We're going to move straight into our consent items. So we have approval of the minutes, approval of claims, and approval of the monthly financial reports. Do I have a motion to accept those?
Make that motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye. Personnel, we have approval of personnel changes as presented below. Do we have a motion to accept those?
I'll make the motion.
And a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Action items, approval of the new student information system. It is recommended that the board approve Infinite Campus as the student information system beginning with the 26-27 school year. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
What is that?
So now we use Alma. It's where your student information
Oh,
is.
okay,
It's your
yeah.
student,
Yeah,
all your student
yes,
data.
Yeah,
Can you like briefly tell us what's better about this? Is there,
A lot,
A
but
lot.
how you wanna, you probably can address it better than me.
highlights.
you don't have to, Kyle. I just was curious.
It's just such a complicated topic without really getting into it. I mean, there's a lot of pillars, I think, when you're looking for a student information system. One's security, another one, a big one's integration. And I think two of those, really those are the big two that we're gonna see a lot of improvements with, whether that's how it integrates with Canvas, and making that a little more seamless for teachers, the speed of delivery for new students, things like that. Pricing also obviously comes into the picture. There might be things we can eliminate in the future to bring this cost down cheaper than what we're paying now in the future. But so there's a lot of factors, and we can really dig into that first if you want.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's-
When he says student integration, right now our current sys, when a student comes and enrolls, and let's say they enroll today, and their parent says, I want them to start today, they don't show up in our system until overnight, until the next day. So that's a challenge. So you give them a device, they can't use any of it until it populates in Alma, because that then populates their student email, which gives them access to Canvas. So all of that we have to wait in the way our current student information system runs. This one is it's instantaneous, which that's a big deal, so.
State reporting.
And state reporting was a real challenge. That's probably when we started looking, because I don't know if you guys remember, and some of you may not, but 2 years ago, Donna ended up doing templates because our state reporting, they didn't get badged with Ed5, which state reporting is not what it was 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. It's much more real time and it's much more extensive. Donna's working with Jessica, she transitions in, because there's a lot of things you gotta check all the time. Alma it's constant issues, and that was, we met with them and tried. I think we've all really worked because it is a lot. I mean, it's a lot when we have moved SIS, and it's a lot of work on our end to make that move, and it's not something you want to do. So that's why we really we tried, and this year it's been better, but still there's just too many hurdles, and so we really got it down to 2, and there were things we liked about both. Borden, Henryville, and Silver Creek are on Infinite Campus, and so that was a positive to have a couple of districts. There were some that were going to go with the other one, but just this one has and I'm not saying we're going to this, but it does have its own management system. It has its own discipline tracking. It tracks attendance, so you can populate. We have to, state requirements, we have to send out notifications when students are missing more than 5 days. This will give you a list. So the assistant principals who do that, that's quick. Here's my list of who needs that letter, and it will just save time, more efficient.
Good. That sounds great. Thank you.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Approval of the 26-27 school calendar. It's recommended the board approve the 26-27 school calendar as submitted. Do you have a motion to accept that?
I'll make that motion.
And second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Approval of obsolete items. It's recommended to approve the list of obsolete broken equipment for recycling as submitted. Do I have a motion to accept that?
I'll make that motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
I'm just really glad Darren's feeling better, so we didn't have to put him on there.
Hey, Fred, that obsolete sounds bad, doesn't it?
Amen.
It just tickles me that he's smiling and feeling good.
I read over that list carefully there.
Just sign it, yeah.
Yep. So, congratulations, Darren.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Approval of donations for the high school from Barton Dumpster Rental, $500, an athletic donation. The elementary school, Silco Fire and Security, a $250 coloring contest winner donation. The elementary school, Bryce Gerlach Memorial Foundation, $250 for the Bryce's Build the Truck Bed Challenge. For the high school, First Harrison Bank, $1,500 for the athletic donation. The middle school, Ludus Technologies, $63.54 for theater. Do I have a motion to approve those donations?
So moved.
And second,
Second.
any discussion? Thank you, thank you,
Yeah,
thank
just
you.
thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any as needed? No one think we have any. Board member comments, committee reports. All right, the next school board meeting is scheduled for January 27th, 2026 at 5 PM. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
And a second? Any discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.